back to Streaming Star. If you're looking for a show that has you sitting on the edge of your seat and has a perfect combination of drama, thriller, and mystery, then this show is the perfect fit for you. Here are all the answers to your question of what is Big Sky and why should you watch it. First of all, plot. The show features two private detectives, Cody Hoyt and Cassie Dowell, played by Ryan Phillippe and Kylie Bunbury, and a former cop, Jenny Hoyt, played by Catherine Winnick. Jenny, who happens to be Cody's wife, partners up with the two private detectives in their pursuit of two sisters, Danielle and Grace, who are both victims of a kidnapping carried out in Montana on a remote highway. However, as the series unfolds, they discover that the case is bigger than it seems, as similar incidents have occurred in the same vicinity. The show has had 5 episodes that have been aired up until now, with fans expecting the 6th episode to come out on the 26th of January 2021. Number 1. The Pilot. The show takes off in full speed with the first episode comprising of the kidnapping itself, which forms the basis of the entire show. Danielle and Grace, who are part of the Sullivans, get abducted by a 38-year-old truck driver, Ronald Pergman, who takes advantage of Danielle's car breaking down. He has already kidnapped Jerry, who happens to be a sex worker he met at the truck shop. Danielle and Grace attempt to escape Ronald's truck, but that only makes matters worse as he overthrows them and locks them in a shipping container alongside Jerry. This scene gives us a hint that Ronald might be involved in human trafficking. As the episode proceeds, it's revealed that Danielle has been dating Justin, Cody and Jenny's son. Upon hearing the news of his girlfriend's kidnapping, Justin turns to his separated parents for help. Due to the impending list of unresolved issues and mistrust between Justin's parents and Jenny's insecurity around Cassie, Cody's partner, the case becomes harder to work on than they had imagined. However, keeping aside their problems, the trio finds ways to tackle the problem at hand. Rick Legarski comes into action here and assists them further by telling them about the other similar cases over the years, which leads everyone to the conclusion that this incident was bigger than the kidnapping of just 2 girls. With the episode moving forward, a major plot twist unfolds with Rick and Ronald revealed as partners. When Cody and Rick meet at the Montana highway to start investigating the case, Ronald voices his suspicions of the kidnapper being a truck driver. This apt conclusion surprises Rick, and in order to hinder further progress on the case, Rick shoots Cody in the head and kills him. He then proceeds to call Ronald, calling him sloppy. This marks the end of the episode and the messed up chemistry against the two. Number 2, Nowhere to Run. Following the events of the previous episode, in order to erase evidence, Rick and Ronald bury Cody's body and remove traces of Danielle's car and Cody's truck. This scene shows a slightly heated debate between Rick and Ronald, with Rick scolding Ronald for kidnapping the Sullivans. Ronald then heads home where his mother insults him for being a 38-year-old loser. An entire day passes with Cassie and Jenny not hearing back from Cody after his trip with Rick. This raises suspicions, and Cassie contacts Rick, who denies going with Cody and says that Cody went alone. Cassie's sixth sense tells her that something is fishy about Rick, after which she questions him at a diner where they meet. Their conversation makes her even more sure about her suspicions regarding Rick and his involvement in the kidnappings, as his behavior falls in line with borderline psychotic and creepy. Jenny finds out about Jerry's disappearance. After his talk with Rick, Ronald realizes that the Sullivans aren't for his human trafficking ring, so he only instructs Jerry to clean up, after which he'll send her to a better place. While Jerry takes a shower, it's revealed that Jerry is transgender and thus also unfit for the ring. Ronald again locks her up with the Sullivans, and the three of them make plans in their favor. The episode comes to an end with Jenny and Cassie discussing their findings and suspicions, and Ronald going back home and cuddling with his mother. Another twist is introduced with a portrait of Ronald's mother hung on the wall, which has a sparkling resemblance to Jerry. Number 3, The Big Rig. The highlight of this episode is Grace trying to escape. The episode starts with a Cassie-Rick scene where Rick acts frustrated and annoyed at Cassie and tells Cassie he would arrest her if she continues to investigate the kidnappings. Cassie remains persistent and becomes very confident about her suspicions. Meanwhile, Grace manages to escape from the container through a small hole. However, Ronald sees her and trails behind her. In her attempt to escape, Grace runs into a man who's fishing by the stream and asks him for help. Before the man gets a chance to return Grace's pleas, Ronald shows up and shoots him in the heart with a bow and arrow and then shoots Grace in the leg. He then picks her up and ties her in the container, leaving her wounds unhealed and bringing her back to Point Zero. However, Grace doesn't give up and screams at Ronald that she'll escape again and succeed. Number 4. Unfinished business. With the days passing and impatience increasing regarding the kidnappings of the Sullivans, the media and papers are flooded with stories about the incident. Ronald's frustration builds up as he can't get rid of his captives. In a desperate attempt, he comes in contact with a trafficking ring that would take the girls without giving him anything in return. On the other hand, Grace's unhealed wounds have worsened her conditions, and the wounds are now infected, which the girls try to treat with maggots. Ronald lends a helping hand too by using hydrogen peroxide, but upon realizing that it won't work, he goes to buy antibiotics. Meanwhile, Jenny is present at the truck stop as an undercover prostitute and encounters a truck driver, and things don't go well. However, Jenny and Cassie were then able to track down Rick's truck and follow him, and the operation becomes a success as they were able to locate the place where the girls are kept. They go inside the building in an attempt to rescue the girls, but things take a disappointing turn when Cassie and Jenny don't recognize the pleas of help coming from the container and dismiss them as random passersby. Number 5. A Good Day to Die. The show takes a drastic turn with Cassie sticking to her gut feeling and reinvestigates the building. Cassie is under the impression that she and Jenny had missed a secret lower level of the building, and so, alongside the sheriff, the duo returns to the building. However, Rick and Ronald were 2 steps ahead of them and had already transferred the girls to a vehicle at the truck stop. When the team arrives at the building, they only find Rick there and tells his actions aren't appreciated by Rick's boss and threaten to arrest Cassie and Jenny, who had placed a tracker on his police car. Jenny steps up and takes the blame on her shoulders, and Cassie walks away free while Jenny gets arrested. Back home, Ronald is being accused by his mother of the kidnappings, and he then tries to kill his mother but fails. The episode ends with a major cliffhanger as Cassie interrogates Rick's wife, who then heads back to the stop and finds her husband standing in a stairway and hears faint voices of the girls' screams. Jumping to his rescue, Rick reaches for his pistol, but Cassie shoots him. The messed up chemistry between Rick and his wife also adds a flavor of drama to the show. With 2 more episodes lined up and additional cliffhangers and plot twists, the show is bound to keep the user engaged with its fast-paced plot.